Welcome to Fear Coded, a podcast where we talk about media from the horror genre and take a queer reading of a single book, video game, film, podcast, or TV show to explore just how queer horror can be. Did you hear the bell? Class is in session as all month long we're going back to Ghoul and focusing on media set in and around high schools, starting with the cult classic Jennifer's Body. I'm Tyler.
I'm David.
I'm Marilee.
And I'm Paige.
That's right, we couldn't do these 9/11 tribute shooters alone. Please welcome to Fear Coded, Paige Kiser. You might know Paige as a co-host of Across the Hooniverse, or a frequent contributor to the Shh, My Stories Are On podcast, or even the writer of the Girlhood in Low Resolution Substack. Thank you for joining us, Paige.
Yes, thank you all for having me. I am so excited. I really enjoy this podcast. Truly, I'm not just saying that. And I love any excuse to talk about queer readings of horror because that's something I think about all the time. And I don't have a platform to do that usually. So I'm really happy to be here. I know. I feel lucky today.
Yeah.
It's almost like you could take over as a third co-host of this podcast.
Watch out.
No, David.
Watch out.
You could do it.
David.
You could do it.
No. Paige, I love you.
Yes.
I'm so happy you're here. I'm so sorry you cannot take David's seat. I have a lot invested in keeping him in there.
Yes.
We
I
have
get it.
David trapped in a net, so no matter how much he tries to push against it, he cannot actually leave.
So Paige, you're a Doctor Who fan. You are into it. Like, tell us a little bit about the journey of Whodom for you.
Oh my gosh. I have been a Doctor Who nerd since I was like 13 years old.
Oh my God, I love
Yes,
this.
very long time. I watched on BBC America since I'm here in the States. I notoriously talk about BBC America all the time because that's where I watched Doctor Who and Star Trek.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
And there were a few years where I fell off with Doctor Who for a little bit, but I got back into it because it's such a comfort show. And I just return to it time and time again. And that's really why me and my co-host Chels on Across the Hooniverse wanted to rewatch everything because it's such a comfort for us and a lot of people. And it's so fun to revisit the show, honestly.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paige, who is your favorite Doctor?
Ooh.
13. I'm a 13 lover.
Yeah.
Yes, she's my favorite. I also really love 11, Matt Smith. So great.
Okay, fun.
Yeah.
I feel like I still know so little about Doctor Who.
There's so much.
I think there not only is there so much, but I've done so little. I've watched one episode, Midnight.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm familiar with the character Absormimoff because of our Smasher Pass episode.
That is so random.
Yeah. I did
That's
that
what
to
I got.
David.
That's what I got.
Mhm.
Well, that's not it. Like I like if you showed me a Dalek, I would recognize it. Like
Right.
I'm not under a stone here, but there's some horrifying Doctor Who episodes. I have to imagine eventually we may end up having you, maybe and Shells together come back and give me more Who.
I have a friend who explicitly won't watch Doctor Who because she thinks it's too scary. And I'm like, that's a little dramatic, but
Okay. Well, that Midnight episode
yeah,
was scary.
there are some scary bits.
I do know that Doctor Who is kind of infamous for trying to scare children.
Yeah.
Who watch it in
It's
the UK.
good for
So
kids.
it is good for kids. We on Fear Coded are very staunch supporters of it's good to scare children sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think Doctor Who, I think your friend should get over it unless she's 6 years old. In which case she is the perfect audience to be scared by Doctor Who.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but yes, Doctor Who, big fan of that. It's helped to make horror more commonplace among the youth.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's funny thinking about Tyler going up to a 7-year-old who's scared of like a clown with a machete and being like, get over it.
You need this.
Clowns with machetes in Doctor Who.
I don't
you
know.
know
I've
about.
only seen one episode.
They're more like Paige, like, would you say that they're more like psychologically terrifying?
Most of the
No, there's
time,
some
but
real body horror, though.
there is. Yeah, and there are like monsters that are quite scary sometimes, but like weeping angels, all that stuff.
The Weeping Angels are legit terrifying. We should make David watch that one.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Listen, I think Chels and I have discussed this a lot. We don't think that Blink is... A lot of people will put Blink as the best episode of Doctor Who. No, it's not. It's a really good short story that has the Doctor and a companion in it for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But it is perfect for this purpose because it is a really good little short story that David's gonna like.
Got it.
Well, in addition to things that David likes, we want to thank all the bats in our belfry, who David really likes, for being part of our amazing community by supporting our fear-coded Patreon. Thank you to Chris, Kaya, John, Maureen, Derek, Tyler, Puckish Rogue, Blake, Alyssa, Jacob, Doug, Knight of Cups, and Will.
Yeah, and if you would like me to like you, all you need to do is give us a little bit of money. That's patreon.com/fearcodedpodcast. My love is for sale.
Hey, save that pitch for the end, buddy. No, if you listen to this podcast at all, we love you and cherish you and unconditionally. So
Yeah.
But before I continue to profess our love, and more importantly, before we start to go through the trees, I want to check in with my co-host and our guest to see how things are going for them. In the landscape of horrors that our real world has to offer, what's making you scared or what is making you feel prepared? Paige, as our guest, let's start with you.
I mean, there are a lot of things I could talk about that are scary in the world right now, but
For
I will
real?
keep it light and say the thing that is on my mind right now is that as of recording this, the last episode of The Vampire Lestat comes out this weekend.
Oh my gosh, it's already over?
Yes, it's already over. It's only like 7 episodes this season.
Oh, wow.
And the way the last episode ended, no spoilers, but I'm very concerned. And I don't know how everyone's going to get out of this one, how the whole gang is going to get out.
I mean, I love when television can do that, though.
Yeah.
Give you that feeling.
Especially because that's also like a horror story show too. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been big into all of these? Did you watch Interview with the Vampire both
Yes.
seasons and vibe
And
with
I
it? Yeah.
just caught up with it like this summer I started watching, even though it's very much my cup of tea. So I'm like, I don't know why I waited this long to watch it, but I am full force obsessed with it.
Yeah. That second season took a long time to hit something that I had streaming. So when that
Yeah.
finally was available, I was like, let's go, girls, because it was a good time.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And the third season, or I guess you could call it the first season of The Vampire Lestat, but I won't do that. The third season is really good.
Yeah.
It is such a banger. It's much different than the first two, for sure.
So the Vampire Lestat, is it just kind of like an additional season of Interview with the Vampire, or it's like its own kind of like spin-off?
It's
Yes.
Yes.
both.
Both of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, it's kind of like revamping the show a little bit because the first 2 seasons are from the perspective of one character mostly. And then this one, you're getting a whole new perspective. And so the tone of the show shifted a lot. So it's kind of like its own thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we get more of that actor who I always confuse with being Anthony Bourdain, but is not. Right? He's the journalist
He
continues
looks
to
Yeah,
just
Daniel.
like him. Yes.
I agree. I agree.
Mhm.
He looks like Anthony Bourdain.
does.
Like, honestly, somebody write an Anthony Bourdain biopic real fast because this guy is spot on right now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that one coming out with,
Oh.
I don't remember what
Not him.
actor that is. It's like a young
But not the
Bourdain.
right one.
Oh,
No.
young Bourdain. Well, young Bourdain. Yep. Well, then you know what? You have this guy come in to be like, let me tell you about the history of my life. Just as like a frame story.
Yeah, that'll be like the Vampire Lestat of Anthony Bourdain.
There you go.
Incredible. So so are you feeling prepared about this or are you actually feeling scared for the finale?
I'm scared because I
Okay,
don't know
okay.
where they're going to go with it because there are a lot of different ways according to like the book lore, which I haven't gotten into entirely yet. But a lot of stuff goes
There's no
goes
reason.
down. There's no reason.
No, you feel free to read a Wikipedia page of events that happened in the
Right.
later Vampire Chronicle books. Boy, there's no reason.
There are so many of those.
Yeah. Don't worry. Like, by the time you hit Atlantis, there really is nowhere to go but straight down the toilet.
Is that the one with aliens?
I don't want to get into it.
To
You don't
what
even want
end?
to talk about it.
Yeah.
Just wild. I have nowhere to go here. I blood cannot thirst me. I don't know what's happening.
Well, David, that makes me think, are you feeling scared or prepared today?
I come prepared today.
Whoa!
Prepared today. I found another little video game. For my birthday, I asked for some recommendations, and people recommended me all sorts of things. And some of them were very stressful things, but some of them were little hugs. And I've been playing, just casually, Power Wash Simulator. This is the best / stupidest thing I've ever done with my time. Because all you're doing is holding a power washer and then taking mud that you really have to assume aliens are responsible for, because it's just too much mud. It's too much mud. And you are getting it off of things. And I think the first 5 minutes I was like, this is dumb. I'm never going to play this again. And then 6.5 hours went by and I was like, I can upgrade my power washer now. I can power wash more. I don't know. It's just a vibe. It's a vibe that's happening to me.
I love this for you.
It's so funny that you mentioned aliens created all of the mud that is besmirching everything in Power Wash Simulator, because they just dropped a Star Wars expansion. So technically, aliens could be responsible.
Yeah, that mud.
Me?
That mud.
Oh yes, Paige. They just announced like a Star Wars DLC for the game, where based off of what I've seen of the marketing material, you are a droid with a power wash gun, and in the poster you're holding it like Han Solo. But yeah, you're cleaning like the Millennium Falcon and Boba Fett's ship, and I don't know. I assume the Death Star is the final boss, and you have to clean the entire golf ball that it is.
My God,
That's
my best
incredible.
friend. Yeah, my best friend loves Star Wars and Power Wash Simulator, and I don't know if she knows this, but I think that she's gonna have the best day in the world when this comes out.
Yeah.
I think it's out. I think it's out now.
Oh, holy shit! Incredible.
Here's the deal.
Better let her know.
Listeners, you're listening to a podcast. This is a great companion piece for listening to a podcast.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
not a lot of in-game sound except for the spraying noise of a power washer, and I think maybe even my voice is better to hear than that for 6 hours. So check it out. Check it out. If you are looking for something to listen to podcasts during, you could do worse.
A lot worse.
You could do worse.
I keep trying to listen to podcasts during BioShock, and that is not the way. I have a lot of pausing.
Yeah, I
All
don't think
those
that'll
audio
work, really.
recordings, you gotta listen to them.
Those
She
are like
wants-
mini
That's my
podcasts
favorite
on their
part.
own.
And she
Yeah.
wants the lore page. That's the thing that I'm like, Marilyn, you
Yeah.
can't listen to a podcast. You desperately crave lore.
Yes, I do. But there's a lot of like running around and fighting and backtracking to make sure I've gotten all of the areas. And so
Right.
just as long as I make sure that I have my phone handy so I could pause when Sophia Lamb starts talking, then I'm good.
Yeah. I listen to a lot of podcasts during a Cyberpunk Set 2077 playthrough, because there's a lot. Marilyn and Tyler will know this very well, but no matter what the game is designed to do, I refuse to get into a car. And so I walked pretty much everywhere in 2077, including like out into the fields, which is very far. That's how I like to roleplay. I'm car phobic.
You know, David, great news for you and your car phobia. There is now a feature that they have added to the game where if you get into a car, it will autopilot you to your destination. So you do not have to do any driving.
I like that a lot better, but I still am a little. Tyler knows this, and Tyler hates me to this day. But I don't play Red Dead Redemption because a horse is just a car, and I don't like getting on a car.
That's
car
a
that-
hot
but you-
take to have. A horse is a car.
It's functionally the same thing.
But it's so much different. You bond
I
with
wish-
your horse.
I can't because it's a car.
David is the most Amish he's ever been when it comes to horses and cars.
Apparently.
Like the horse is a car, which is why you can drive it on the road, and there's a big orange traffic thingy on the back of your buggy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's just it's for some reason how I'm built, but it doesn't matter because
I will say, David, Cyberpunk, pretty great city to walk around in.
that's true. The city is great. The rural is the hard part. That's
You're
when
in a desert, David. You're in a
that's
desert.
when I needed Nicole Byer to be talking to me, and that's what I got. And I will always associate her with me playing Cyberpunk 2077.
Have you played
I bet
Death
you-
Stranding?
I have. I love Death
I
Stranding.
was going to say that's a lot of walking and
a lot of
focusing
walking.
on the walking, so you must love
Yeah.
that game.
Yes, I did. And then at one point in time, it's like, you could put your packages into a car. And I'm like, why would I do that?
No thanks.
Why would I could have the leading tower of packages being carted around?
Yeah.
Yeah, incredible. All right, Tyler, what about you? Are you coming scared or prepared this week to Fear Coded?
I am feeling prepared this week.
What? Prepared?
Yes, prepared indeed. Also because of video games.
Ooh.
Oh.
So because of Sony's bullshit, like we're gonna get rid of physical sales in the future, which I hate, and it's very anti-consumer, but it's great for the corporation, and they got to make money for the investors. So I'm just like, what if I pick a lesser of the evils? So I will go with Nintendo because we have a Nintendo Switch 2. I've been really enjoying the Switch 2 for some reason more than the original Switch. I guess because like the power in the Switch 2 is basically like a souped up PS4. So it's like, fuck it. Yeah, I could actually play like video games I like on this thing instead of, I don't know, Pokemon over and over. I'm not huge into Pokemon. Disclaimer. I have started getting into a lot more games on the Switch 2, and one of them is Breath of the Wild, a game that I tried to play, bounced off of because I was just like, there's nothing. I'm just running around, and there's nothing around me for miles and miles. And if I do run into something, it's trying to kill me. So I really bounced off of that. I'm getting back into it, and I'm enjoying that more. I finally got Cult of the Lamb, and I've been enjoying playing that. Gonna add everyone to the cults, and I'll sacrifice David first, as I'm sure he would want.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I've been playing Dredge on the PlayStation because I owned it already, but I've been enjoying playing Dredge. I'm trying to get back into games that have been on my backlog for a while. A lot of them just happen to be on the Switch too, which is very pleasant. So I'm enjoying being able to play that. I did have to do the shrine in Breath of the Wild though, where there's like a ball in a maze, and you're trying to navigate the ball in the maze and then make it leap onto another ramp. And I was just like, this is why I didn't like this game. Don't fuck with me, Nintendo.
That's one of the worst ones.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that sucked. But
there's a way to cheese it, but I don't remember what it is. I'm so sorry.
You had to flip the whole thing upside down.
Yeah.
And then kind of like rocket it.
Nintendo's always trying to force physical activity into your life. It sold that balance board. It was like, let's hit home runs. Let's do some archery.
We Fit Lady.
Strap this thing on your thigh and jog against this hot muscle daddy dragon thing. Like, yeah, the Nintendo, I get it. You want me to work out more, but me flipping my Switch over like this isn't an exercise I need. I don't need this.
This is some sort of wrist operation that they're trying to make me do. And frankly, it's just going to make my carpal tunnel worse. So. Yeah.
I'm glad you're enjoying Breath of the Wild, though. You know what you can do in Breath of the Wild, Tyler.
What can I do in Breath of the Wild?
Ride horses?
Ride a horse.
Yeah. And you know what? Way better than running.
Sure. I believe you, but I refuse.
My favorite thing in that game is the little cooking song that plays when you're cooking things on the fire.
That is my favorite, too. That's absolutely my favorite, too.
I mean,
I want to tell you how far back this game, you know, like how old this game is. I wanted it to be my text tone for a really long time.
Incredible. It could still be your text tone if you moved here, but in the United States, I know that it is culturally appropriate to silence your phone at all times.
Yeah.
You might not be aware of this, but you know everyone here has their phone on sound all the time.
Well, that's horrible.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
I had to culturally get used to it because I heard someone's phone ring once and I thought, what has just happened?
Yeah.
What? Something's ringing.
It's fucked up.
Fucked up.
Marilee, are you feeling scared or prepared today?
I hate to report that I'm feeling scared today, gang.
Right. You join Paige. You're together.
Join Paige.
Yeah. So the deal is that I've said a lot of things on this podcast that I felt like I would never have to defend myself on. And I'm stuck in a position where I'm a little afraid that I'm going to have to eat my words here today.
¿Por qué?
Because I've said a lot of times that I'm a lifelong Mike Flanagan fan, that he has my loyalty through everything. I've also said a lot of times that I'm really excited for his Carrie adaptation, and that I think that, you know, whatever, we have a lot of people like reheating old horror nachos, but I think this one's going to be good, gang. He said some things recently that I'm like, am I going to have to issue a public apology? Because, oh boy.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I don't think I know about this.
I don't feel great about this, gang. He said some things recently. Like obviously he didn't cast a Carrie that is as goes by her book description, where
Sure.
she's actually like a fat kid, which
Yeah.
I think could really help. But alas, simply we live in Hollywood, and that was never going to happen. But then recently he said some things about how the prom scene is going to be like completely different, and we're all here for the prom scene. We all know what we want. So him trying to like outthink what the expectation. I understand being directly compared to Brian De Palma is a bad place to be, but like you did sign up for this, so you should. But the worst thing is that he said recently that it's going to be about teens and their relationship with tech instead of all of the other things that Carrie is supposed to be about, and he's making her mom less religious.
No.
And what are we doing?
Okay.
This isn't
What
Carrie.
are we doing?
This can still be saved. No, this can still be saved. This can still be saved, Marilee. Let me just give you hope. Let me give you hope.
Okay,
Mrs. White is an AI tech bro. And the prayer room, it's a server room in their house, and that's where she forces Carrie to be. And Carrie discovers a hatred of technology. So when she hears somebody at the prom say that they look something up on ChatGPT, that's when she loses her mind.
I mean, I'm always down for hating AI, so I don't think that, like, that's... I probably would like to see that, but it's not what I want from Carrie. Moreover, you have, again, this is the whole time I've been like, they have the perfect Carrie's mom right there. We saw her do Beverly Keane in Midnight Mass. She's literally the perfect woman. Why are you squandering her talents?
I don't know.
I am into David's idea, though, that Mrs. White is just kind of obsessed with talking to ChatGPT like it's a real thing. Like, she's got full-blown AI psychosis, and that's the equivalent of being, like, a crazy Christian in 2026. Although, I think crazy Christians are the equivalent of crazy Christians in 2026.
She could be both.
Like,
she could be both.
The Venn
She could be
diagram
two
crosses
things.
over quite a bit.
Yeah. And like, I just, I know that Mike Flanagan puts a lot of emphasis on like family in a lot of his stuff, and like normally that's fine. I understand that we all have our own little bits, and this is his bit. But like in concert with the things that he's said, I'm worried that he's gonna soften Carrie's mom into like not the villain of the piece, which again is the point. It's a really hard day to be a Mike Flanagan defender, and I am scared about that.
The Flanafan is not doing well, sounds like.
I have hope. I have hope, Marilee. I have hope for you. I have hope for all Flanafans out there.
Yeah, I'm still
time.
gonna watch it, but like I'm less confident than I was before, and that's really making me scared.
Well, if it's not good, invite Mike Flanagan onto the podcast, and he will answer for his crimes.
Yes.
Listen, he already has an open invitation, and I'd love to talk to him about some of his other work, but like I do think there will be some side-eye situation happening at this current moment, because genuinely, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I will say, he does have to answer for some crimes from the first season, the Haunting of Hill House, in that really great, like, one-take episode. There's one scene where the camera is just kind of slowly spinning around the group of characters who are talking. Gave me vertigo, Mike Flanagan. Don't do that.
I was like, where is this going?
Not
That is an
fair.
excellent episode of television.
Yeah,
There's just like one scene where it's the characters are talking to each other and this camera is just kind of slowly panning around them in a circle. And I'm like, I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
there's a really great episode of Gimmicks about that
we
episode
covered
of
that.
television.
There sure
by the way.
is.
Yeah, you should listen to David's other podcast. His other podcast. David has too many.
David has too many, but he can't leave this one because he's trapped in a net.
So,
Yep.
so they say, but I've got wire cutters and I'm working my way through. But I
Good
don't need to get free of today's conversation because today we are talking about the 2009 film Jennifer's Body, directed by Karyn Kusama and written by Diablo Cody.
After a satanic sacrifice goes wrong, something demonic takes up residence inside Jennifer, leaving her long-term best friend Needy to figure out what's going on before it's too late.
Unfortunately, after a mismanaged marketing campaign, which we will discuss in more detail come themes, don't worry, Jennifer's Body was a box office disappointment. As time has gone on, it has been reevaluated and is now a beloved cult classic. What's everyone's experience with Jennifer's Body? Paige, let's start with you.
At the time, I felt like I was really the intended audience for this because I was just a weirdo teenage girl that loved horror and I was questioning my queerness. So I was like, this is the movie for me, actually.
Yeah.
It was. Diablo Cody desperately wanted to get this movie to you,
To me.
unfortunately.
So did you see this when it came out? Were you like a not a midnight screening person, but like early box office on this?
I think I saw it like probably a year after it came out, like when it was
Okay.
available to rent at the video store, because that was the era of video
That was the
stores.
era.
Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
the final
Mhm.
days of Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Yes. I think I watched it like at a sleepover with my friends in high school.
Okay, that is the perfect place to watch this movie, actually.
It is, yeah.
This does have good sleepover vibes.
Big
Mhm.
sleepover vibes. Yeah. And also kind of
Mhm.
like looking at your friends at the sleepover, like,
Are you
Yeah.
picking up what I'm picking up? Yeah, what's going on here?
Does
demonic
anyone else like
influence.
those?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, let's rewind on that scene over and over
Yeah.
with Amanda Seyfried.
Yeah, for some
Just
reason.
curious.
I
Yeah,
missed
for some reason.
something.
Yeah.
Marilee, what about you? What's your experience with Jennifer's Body?
I have to say that I was a victim of the bad marketing campaign. I was like officially a hater. I saw the trailers. I was like, oh my God.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, I can't believe we're doing like lesbian kisses to like attract male attention in 2009. Aren't we better than this? And so I didn't see the movie for years. And then when I did watch it, it was like, oh fuck, I'm so sorry. I owe a lot of people apologies. This movie is so great, and I do think that like it gets better the further away from 2009 we are, because it does become a really iconic period piece, because like it's so specific to the era it came from.
It
But no,
is.
I was a hater, and I'm real sorry about it, gang.
Yeah, honestly, I was in the same boat as Marilee. Like
Really?
yeah, I saw the trailers and I figured it was like, oh, it's Megan Fox who, like, in this time period we were like, oh, it's a woman that's being like really sexualized. We are trained to hate her and judge her.
You say
So
like as if we're not still doing that.
that is also true, but I feel like in the late 2000s it was different. It was on another level.
Yeah, it was real bad.
Where it was just kind of like everyone with their whole chest was saying it. And very unfair to Megan Fox. Oh, Megan Fox, an apology. She is incredible in this movie. I watched it for the first time for this podcast, but I had heard that it was much better received than people thought it was back when it first came out, and that is very much due to the bad marketing campaign about it. And then I was also kind of surprised just to hear like, oh, it wasn't exploitatively queer. It's just a very queer movie. And I was like, hell yeah, I need to watch that. So I'm glad that we were able to do that today.
Well, this is fascinating because I was not subject to this marketing campaign. I knew nothing about this movie except for its reputation before we picked it for the schedule. And by that, I mean that it is on the list of like great queer horror discussions. Like, people talk about this well. I've never heard disparaging comments to it, which possibly gave this too high of an expectation for me coming into the film, because I left being almost a little crestfallen after watching it, that like this movie didn't dramatically change me and everything that I stand for, because that's how often it appeared as like a top 3 pick on people's lists. And I do think it's a good movie. I just think that like I had the complete opposite experience of y'all. Like,
That's so funny.
yeah.
This isn't I saw the TV glow, so if you were looking for that, this is not that place.
No,
But it's still very a worthy watch. Like, this is still like a very good movie to watch. Campy in elements, really fun otherwise. Also, if you were in high school around the time that this movie came out, like, holy shit, this is quite the throwback. Lot of like seeing young Neil from Scott Pilgrim is the boy character in this. Wow. That was, and he's got the Fallout Boy emo swoosh. A lot of emo in this movie, a lot of indie music, a lot of everything that I was just like, I'm in a time machine going back. I'm in Florida. It's 2009. It's too hot. And I think I'm straight.
When I
Different
saw
time.
that boy, Johnny Simmons is his name, right?
I think
the
so,
actor, yeah.
Yeah. I was like a sleeper agent that woke up because I was like, he was everywhere at this time.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't
Really?
find a movie that he wasn't in.
Mm-hmm.
He just looks like the boys did in 2009.
He did,
I mean, I
yeah.
agree with that, but I I'm struggling to think of anything else I've seen this boy in.
He was young Neil in Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
I hate to say the following sentence because of the reaction that I know you and listeners are going to have. I have never seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
You fool.
Ow.
You absolute fool.
I'm sorry. It's just not. It's never made its way to me.
It's a good time. Brie Larson is great in that movie. So she's there for one scene, and it's a really good one.
And honestly, you could just watch her scene and shut it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But Paige is not wrong. Yes, this young man was making the rounds in the films. And he seemed to show up in a lot of things that were for teens because of his teeniness.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings us to teens and how do you market to teens? This is
Nicely
our
done.
first step in our theme discussion where I lead us into marketing mistakes. So the advertising campaign for this movie was focused almost exclusively on reaching teenage boys who thought Megan Fox was hot, and heavily featured the kiss between Jennifer and Needy. Years later, Diablo Cody still says that this damaged the movie.
It's so funny to me because when I read this, I thought, well, Megan Fox is hot.
Yeah.
And that kiss is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great kiss, and it worked in the scene and everything. But with a Diablo Cody movie, the trailer should have just been zingers. This should have sold you on some Dawson's Creek ass dialogue. That's what should have got your butt in the seat.
Yeah. It's so funny, David, that you mentioned being kind of underwhelmed because the movie had been hyped up so much. I feel like that is now par for the course with Diablo Cody works. Diablo Cody, I think, is a very talented screenwriter and overall just Hollywood talent in general. But I think their work ends up getting so hyped up by people who see it at first. So they're like, this is amazing. It's genre defining. And then you watch it and it's like, no, this is really good. But, it's good. It's really good. And that's no shade to Diablo Cody. I think that's just more how people react to your work, which on the one hand is great, but it's kind of a monkey's paw of oh, well, now some people are not going to have that same reaction just because it's praised to the high heavens so much. Juno, I think, really did a number on how we all see Diablo Cody works and also made us think that all Diablo Cody stuff is the same. So now you also get people who are critical of her. But nevertheless, I think this movie is really, really good because it is very Diablo Cody-esque. The writing is so fucking smart and really fast, but that's just kind of, unfortunately, we didn't really know how to advertise for that kind of movie for this specific audience. Paige, I know you have a lot of thoughts behind the marketing campaign.
Yeah, we kind of touched on it already, but at the time, Megan Fox was everywhere, and she was a very divisive figure in pop culture. She was fresh off her Transformers popularity, and she was, for lack of a better term, called a sex symbol. And they knew how to capitalize on that for this movie. And I feel like this probably was a really difficult movie to figure out how to market, because when you actually watch it, it is a movie for the weird people. It's not totally a mainstream movie, but they had to market it for the mainstream. And I'm sure that was challenging, and they used the tools they had at the time, which were a little problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that problematicness, I think, is also what deterred me from the movie, because I was just like, well, I don't want to watch a horror movie where it's just Megan Fox being sexy. That doesn't sound very good. Oh, now there's lesbian stuff in it too, or lesgay stuff in it too, as they call it in the movie. And I remember saying when I was a stupid teenager, and I was just like, no, I don't want to. This seems bad. I don't want to see that. Let me wait for Black Swan to come out next year.
I feel so strained. I'm having a dissociative moment. It's I know culturally who Megan Fox is, but I'm immune to all the actors in this film. I've seen nothing else that kid was in. I've seen nothing else that Megan Fox was in. I feel wild right now. You're right, she's in so many things, but Sorry, I do apologize. I did not go see Transformers. Like,
How dare you?
How dare you?
Yeah,
do you even
dare
call
you?
yourself a podcaster? How can you?
You notoriously hate cars, apparently, so that makes sense.
Oh my God. And a car that doesn't tell you that it's a car when it's actually a robot? That's even worse.
Deceiving.
Gaslighting.
They're robots in
Decepticons.
disguise.
Yeah.
Just
Wild. Wild, truly wild. But the other part of this movie that I think is also worthy of discussion as our second theme is sandbox love never dies, which is a line from the movie, more or less. So the relationship between Jennifer and Needy is the heart of the film. The two are dealing with the messy growing pains of adolescence before the supernatural really strains their connection, be it platonic or romantic in nature.
I love this. I think that this is like the best part of the movie. Whenever Jennifer and Needy are not together, the audience should be asking where they are. Because they click really well together. I mean, hot take, Amanda Seyfried is a fantastic actor. Like, she's incredible, to the point that I think there were a couple moments that I was like, Amanda's a little bit better than you are, Megan. Like, I'm sorry, like they are both good actors, but like Amanda Seyfried can give you things facially that make you feel things in your core. I love seeing her show up in a horror space. I think this is fantastic. And I like problematic queer people. I think that this theme is great.
David, just as an FYI, it's Amanda Seyfried.
Seyfried, god damn it. I knew I was going to do this. Well, you know what? Listener, that all stayed in.
Amanda Seyfried, come on the podcast and yell at David.
You know what? Yes, please, by all means.
Oh, do anything you like. We're big fans.
Do anything you like. Absolutely. Is this a Britney Spears song? Because their relationship is toxic.
Hey.
Excellent.
Really,
Really
like
2009.
from the beginning, even before the supernatural comes in, I'm watching this and I'm just like, oh boy, this is a fucked up friendship they got going on. Like, I know that like people talk about like there's like a hotness imbalance in friendships, which is kind of fucked up, but that seems very intentional here. Like, that's absolutely what they're gunning for from like the very jump. It's being called out that Megan Fox's Jennifer is more attractive than Amanda Seyfried's Needy, and there's a power imbalance because of that. And Needy, with that name being Needy, is very much like kind of hung up on being the tag along for Jennifer and does whatever Jennifer says to do. And people are like, you should really kind of stand up for yourself. And Needy is like, no, I don't need to do that. And it takes demonic possession to really start to get that ball rolling. I love this dynamic. I think it is like, it's gross and uncomfortable, but it also feels very real, especially for like girl friendships and then more complicated relationships. Especially in high school. So I think it's important to kind of see this depicted in film so people can respond to it and see bits of themselves in there, or watch out for, warning signs, or even just be entertained by a really fucked up story between two people, because that's life,
Yeah.
Sometimes these relationships are gross and unpleasant. But I like that there is development based off of this. It's not just like a one-off thing, or it's not made to make Needy just seem like a loser for the entirety of the film. Like, Needy goes through really great character development, and I love that.
Me too.
Yeah, there's so much that I could say about Needy and Jennifer, and in fact have said many times in many places. I'm trying really hard not to take up this whole space, but like, I love their relationship. I think there's so much interesting stuff that you could go on, and like, I could argue about what their dynamic is forever, and I will take different sides because I like to argue for, the sport. This is just such a good movie, and I love the two of them.
Yeah, even though everything is like really heightened, it's still so authentic to how female friendships were, especially in 2009. It
Yeah.
was messy, it was problematic. We probably said horrible things to each other, but that is depicted very authentically in this. And that's why I love that the tagline for this is "Hell is a teenage girl." Which obviously
real.
It's real, and it has multiple meanings, because it's like, that tongue-in-cheek, like, it's about a succubus, like, all that stuff. But also, hell is a teenage girl, because that is like such a wild time in life, and you like are made to feel like you're crazy all the time, and everyone's like putting you in a box because of societal pressures. And so those two characters get to experience that together and like grow through that together, even in this like crazy horror scenario.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, talking about them as a couple might be a great transition to talk about if this movie's queer, but first, we must ask the other of the two questions that we ask of every media that we discuss on the podcast, which is it horror? Were you scared watching Jennifer's Body? Does this film belong in a discussion about horror media?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. I mean,
Hell yeah.
like, a lot of violence, a lot of bloodshed, a lot of
That's
scary
true.
shit that Megan Fox is doing.
Yes.
Mhm.
I kind of think, like, we all culturally owe Megan Fox an apology for just kind of painting her as just a sex symbol, and that was it, especially after Transformers, which is not a great showcase for your acting skills in a film. But in this, she's like really, really good. Like, she's an excellent actor.
She is.
And like, I wish we could have seen some more of that being celebrated at the time that the movie was coming out, and then in the future, because I don't, I'll be honest, I don't really see Megan Fox doing a lot in 2026. She's got her own private life, and I think that's wonderful for her. But I would love to see Megan Fox get some more like big time appearances and roles, because like I said, she was really good in this. I think she has like a lot of talent that maybe just like you need like a really good director to bring that out. And I think the same thing about Natalie Portman. I think Natalie Portman's also a really good actor, but she really needs a very confident director to help her get to a place where she could perform really well. And I think maybe Megan Fox is also kind of that sort of person, because when you're in Transformers, you're acting against a green screen and that's about it. But in this movie, it's so interpersonal. It's really physical, and the physicalness is like everything about this movie. A very practical, effects heavy film. And I think more Megan Fox in scary stuff, more Megan Fox in dramas. I want to see Megan Fox be like 30-something-year-old mom. I want to kind of see more roles for her. And I think part of that has to do with like, damn, she could be scary when she fucking wants to be.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. There's a moment particularly. This is the thing that I always think of. That's the scariest moment in this film, where we just get like gargoyle Jennifer for no reason. Scares the hell out of me.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there were some pretty effective jump scares throughout the film, too. Like, just good old-fashioned use a camera to hide something, and then it's there, and either, Needy gets freaked out, so I get freaked out, or, like, I just get freaked out because there's a shadow, because that's, how I'm built. Yeah.
Some of the imagery in this is like burnt in my brain. Like the scene where she's with the football player in the woods and she's unzipping her shirt and then all the teeth come out and she attacks him. Like that is such a cool, scary image. And also later on when she's like smiling at Needy and she has all the blood in her mouth.
And nobody
It's
else
so scary.
notices. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh god, that was creepy.
And so these are all, like, capital H horror stuff, but there's also, like, plenty of horror comedy that's in this that I think is very good. The lighting her tongue on fire and then saying, like, I'm a god. That's
Yeah.
that's a pretty incredible line. That's a great moment of this film.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, it also really reminds me of My Best Friend's Exorcism.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I was getting a lot of that. Frankly, I was getting a lot of Lisa Frankenstein, so I do think maybe Diablo Cody maybe self-plagiarized just a little bit in these scripts, because there was some pretty similar set pieces that happened in these films.
Okay, but I love Lisa Frankenstein, so that doesn't make me mad. I also think the other horror property that we haven't really discussed yet that I do think is very much in that same Jennifer's Body space is Ginger Snaps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You've shown me so many other films that are close to this. So maybe that was part of it too, is that this doesn't feel particularly novel to me, if I'm being honest. But I think if I had seen this in 2009, this would have felt like a really, really different breath of air.
Yeah. Real quick, before we leave the horror space, I do want to say there was another jump scare that really got me. Towards the beginning of the film, there's a crisp rat that appears out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Ugh. Oh my god, that was about to ruin the movie for me if he was in it for more than just that scene.
If I had a dime every time I was on a podcast and I was surprised that Chris Pratt showed up, I'd have too. But it's a little surprised that it's happened twice, because when we covered the OC on some random Christmas episode, all of a sudden Chris Pratt is there, and I was like, "What is happening?"
He just shows up sometimes.
You know what?
Real.
It was 2009. That's the answer to
Yeah.
that. It was 2009.
Yeah. Well, listen, horror, yada, yada, yada. To be unfair coded, you have to be more than scary. You have to be queer. So let's discuss this movie using the lens of queer theory. Do we think, and I want you to be honest, do we think Jennifer's body is queer?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
So it's textually very queer.
Mhm.
I don't know, again, because this was so ramped up for me. I was expecting a little bit more subtext about queer identity to come into this. And in reality, it's really just a textual story of queer people going through this demonic possession thing. There's not a lot else that I really felt like I could draw on for some like symbolism and stuff. It was sort of WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get, and what you get is pretty gay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I really loved that was also seeded in immediately early on in the film. Like this one character making fun of Needy for being like a lesbian crush on Jennifer, and it's like, well, that's rude, but also how dare you be so accurate?
Yeah, don't
She
read me on
clocked
the
it.
bleachers.
Yeah.
Yeah, clocked immedily.
That is the problem with teenage girls. They will make fun of you for the thing that you're sensitive about.
Yeah.
Yuri could have saved them. Yuri could have saved them if Jennifer and Needy had gotten together, then this movie wouldn't have happened. I'm telling you now.
Different times. We were so afraid of being perceived as gay in the late 2000s. Like that was a big thing. Like
Yeah.
I fully blame that for being a reason why I was like so deeply in the closet, unknowing for so much of my youth. Was like I was just like, oh God, I can't let people know that I'm gay. It'll ruin my life. And you know, I think that kind of comes across really well here. I think the actual like queer kiss that ends up happening in the middle of the movie is like so detailed and so like visceral, like very intimate, because we linger on it for so long and it's just their lips. So it's also kind of pulling away from it feeling like too exploitative, like tee-hee of it all, because it's not showing Amanda Seyfried and Megan Fox kissing, it's just their lips. And like that felt very queer positive to me.
Yeah.
Like that felt like a genuine exploration of something. And I really like it. Big props to the movie for having done that. This is a very gay movie.
It was giving for me Cruel Intentions. It was giving for me the Selma Blair Sarah Michelle Gellar kiss from Cruel Intentions.
Okay.
Obviously,
A movie I have not seen yet.
Ah.
Yeah, I also have not seen that movie.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Paige,
know
have
what?
you seen it?
Yes, I love that movie.
Yeah. I don't know that it's horror enough for us to cover, but maybe worthy of consideration.
Yeah, I feel like you
We'll
could
put
go
it on
there.
We'll put it on the Hear Me Out.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a
Yeah.
Hear Me Out. Maybe I'll bring that to the table. But in that there is a famous kiss between Selma Blair and Sarah Michelle Gellar, but it is done sort of as the manipulation of the Selma Blair character, so it is not done in affection. Although I might argue that the kiss between Needy and Jennifer is also done to manipulate Needy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, so Jennifer in the movie says that she's bisexual. How do
Yeah.
we feel about Needy's situation? Because I firmly believe, and this is the thing that I won't argue for sport, I firmly believe that she doesn't know that she's a lesbian yet.
Yes.
And
That's
the lesbian
my reading.
the lesbian master dog could have saved her. How do David and Tyler feel here?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a bit of everything going on with this whole thing. I think Jennifer is like very much in control of her sexuality. And I think she's become very confident in it, which is also very terrifying to men. And I think being bisexual on top of that, because I do buy into that, is like another layer threatening to men and the patriarchy, because that is not just a woman who is in control of her body, she's also in control of which sexual partners she wants to have. And I think that is great. I think that's fantastic. And it adds so much more to this movie. And I think really Needy is in a similar spot by the end of the movie. I think Needy is also bi. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from her. And I think that she kind of like the whole thing at the end of the movie where she's like, I got some demonic powers because of events that happen, is more or less like the movie's way of saying that she is now more in control of this darker side of herself that she never wanted to recognize, which is the more bisexual. I am attracted to men and women and potentially more genders, but it's just the fact that she has that capacity within her now, I think provides so much more danger to her, which the ending really, really, really goes in on. And is very satisfying as a result.
It's wild because I read Needy's queerness is so on the page. Like, and I don't know that I thought specifically about queer identity, but it wasn't just Jennifer sexual. It was more than that. And so I feel like the subtext of the film is actually about how Needy also longs to have things that are Jennifer's things, which I think in a film maybe that came out in 1989 would be reversed. It would be all about, oh, I want that girl. Like I'm describing the plot of Single White Female, honestly. Like, I want her, but in reality, like, I want her, is what the film ends up trying to tell in a more circuitous way. Here, I always felt like Needy was attracted to Jennifer and was open to have a deeper experience. And maybe if she wasn't committed with this floppy haired Yahoo, she would have gone for it.
Interesting.
And that is the universal queer girl experience, is like questioning whether you want to be with someone or you want to be them. Because sometimes that gets mixed up where you're like, oh, I think she's really cool and beautiful and interesting. Oh, do I actually like her though? Or do I want to be her?
Yeah. I can't tell you the number of men I've slept with because they just thought they wanted to be podcasters. And I was like, listen, let's lock it down.
So real for that, David.
Yeah. Well, then are you all ready to jump into the plot beat by beat for Jennifer's Body?
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Class is now in session, and today's lesson, how to stop hearing ads just like this one. If you want an ad-free listening experience, you can join the Fear Coded Patreon at patreon.com/fearcodedpodcast. For as little as $1 a month, you get access to early and ad-free episodes on your very own podcast feed, and extra bonus content begins at $3 a month. Now, you're never going to hear us promoting a shady for-profit institution of higher education, but if you would like to skip ads just like this one, you can join the Fear Coded Patreon at patreon.com/fearcodedpodcast and support real human queer artists for as little as $1 a month. Now, back in your seats, the lesson is about to resume. The movie opens with Needy in jail and narrating to the audience her life now. After she's been put in solitary confinement, we get a flashback to a few months earlier, before the killings, and the narrative begins in earnest. Jennifer and Needy are lifelong best friends despite Jennifer's popularity, and Jennifer wants them to go and see a band at the local bar that night. Chip, Needy's boyfriend, isn't invited. At the bar, they meet Low Shoulder, particularly lead singer Nikolai, and while Jennifer is taken with them, Needy is much more skeptical. When she overhears the band talking, Needy misunderstands and assures them that Jennifer is a virgin. Just as Low Shoulder starts playing, a fire breaks out and destroys the bar. Needy gets herself and Jennifer out, but Low Shoulder brings Jennifer into their van and drives away, leaving Needy behind. Right off the jump, I mean, I love this frame story. I love Needy being in jail. I think a voiceover can work and a voiceover can fail. And I think Seyfried is doing a great job in this voiceover, so it ends up working. I think it is used enough. I could certainly see us turning the dial a little bit too far, or forgetting that we had a frame story and not using it all, which we've done here on this podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Both
The frame story. But I like it. I like it a lot. I like the jail. I also thought it was very tone setting.
I actually didn't like the jail part.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
It didn't entirely work for me. Like, I could see why that would draw certain people in, because they're like, oh, I have to know what she did to get in this place. But I think it was a little cheesy for me.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I don't disagree with you at all, Paige, but I think for me what I needed is because I had, again, I knew people really liked this, but I didn't really kind of know what movie I was getting.
Right.
And what I needed was a scene where someone wrote "kicker" on a piece of paper, and then we watched her kick somebody across the room. And I was like, I get what kind of movie this is now.
Yeah, that's what you needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess what I needed a frame story with a joke that told me this was a comedy. And that's why it sat well with me.
Okay.
But I don't know that I needed her in prison now that Paige just mentioned it. Like, ultimately, I don't know that I needed that frame story. I just needed a frame story.
You needed the tone to be set right away.
Oh, absolutely. Because I think the other thing we see during all of this is don't we see Seyfried through the window of Megan Fox's room?
Yeah, there's the one scene
Okay.
right before the frame story that I just cut because I didn't want to describe it. I did the notes today, and it was like, this is a nothing. It's a great jump scare, though, where at the very, very start of the movie, we see moments before Needy kills Jennifer. Needy is the monster who is hiding in the window.
Right. And I'll be honest, if that was the only thing I got before we went into the story, I would be expecting horror, and the comedy might have set me off. And I think that's why I needed this balance. I needed two flavors, because the movie is going to give me 2 flavored ice cream for the rest of the runtime.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I've always felt like, sorry to cut you off, Tyler, but I've always felt like the I didn't like the frame story at first, but the more times I watch the movie, the more I appreciate it and what it's doing. What about you, Tyler?
Yeah, I do like the frame story. I could see both arguments really working. I think like it would also be kind of fun to see Amanda Seyfried start off as like, ooh, like so shy and blah 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 at the beginning, and then see her turn into the felon, kind of sort of felon, the inmate baddie that she ends up becoming. But I also kind of like that we get some hints of that in the beginning, like the fact that she can kick that hard to knock out a person's tooth and send her across the table and stuff. At first I was just like, oh damn, she's strong, but then at the end you get kind of a payoff to that to see like how is she that strong,
Right.
and which I think really works. And then seeing her levitate at the very end is also really fun too. I think that was neat. But overall, I like this beginning. I think this is a strong start to the movie. I think it does a good job of kind of setting the tone of what kind of movie we're getting into. I also like that, and was a little surprised by the beginning kind of seeming more like Needy is the one who's the monster, but we know it's going to be Jennifer because everything about the movie tells us Jennifer is going to be the monster. So I think it also gives you like a momentary moment of like, what? Which I think is also fun.
Yeah.
But what do we think about like this intro that eventually leads to going to visit Low Shoulder?
I love the dialogue in this movie just as a whole. Every now and then though, there's a real clunker that was like, oh, this is a early 2000s movie.
Yeah.
Which that'll sneak up on you, but again, it's a period piece, basically. That is exactly how people talked at the time. So if you are too young to remember high school in 2009 or too old, people talked exactly like this.
Yeah,
it's a little jarring, especially if you didn't watch this movie at the time. And then you go back and you're like, okay, there's a scene where in like 2 lines they say the R word, they say the F slur, like just a whole bunch of things all at once. You're like, oh, this is set at a time and place.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out if Chip was supposed to be kind of an asshole that we disliked and then deserved what happens at the end, but he was also a nice guy at the same time, or if he was just straight up supposed to be nice boyfriend in 2009.
He's supposed to be nicey.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a
Unfortunately.
weird. Yes, so weird considering Chip is also like kind of slut shamey and like says was it Jennifer or Needy that he was like, I could see your womb.
He says that to
how
Needy.
low the genes, like the genes were so low.
Right.
It's like, damn,
That's
fucked.
crazy.
Can't be saying that now.
It's funny because I remember that being said, but I didn't clock it as being sort of a red flag for me because I knew that this was a contemporary film, that this was set in the era that it was set in. Like there was not this was not meant to age forever. This was a snap. Like, it's like watching Dawson's Creek today, or frankly, watching Gilmore Girls today. Anything with smart writing, especially timely smart writing, is going to have a shelf life. And the further you get from it, the more that shelf life will become apparent, because language changes, attitudes change. But yeah, I think in 2009 we were saying "I Can See Your Womb" as just an elevated way of being like, your clothes are low riding. Like, just hyper elevated language was sort of the soup du jour during that time of our lives, and we've pivoted it into different places. Now it's like, I hate or love everything. That's 50 years from now, children will look back and be like, why do people hate or love anything? There's a world in between, and we'll all be on rocking chairs on the patio.
What did we think of the scene in the dive bar with Low Shoulder?
I really truly would risk it all for Adam Brody and eyeliner and a punk band. That really did everything for me.
Yeah.
I listened to a lot of music that sounded like Low Shoulder in the late 2000s. Like, I was definitely indie rock boy. So I was just clocking like, oh, this is a Panic reference, Fall Out Boy. Who was it? Yellow Card came up at one point in my head, and then I forgot their name, but they did that "How Can This Happen to Me" song. With like, that was like an anti-drunk driving music video.
Simple Plan.
Yeah.
Simple Plan. Yes.
Even
very Simple Plan vibes.
You needed to give me the fact that they were funded by the Partnership for Drug-Free America for me to remember the band's name. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big that vibes.
Yeah.
And like the fact that a little later in the movie they talk about that indie rock is like a totally overexposed genre and you can't get noticed unless you're like doing this or that. And it was like, yeah, that was correct. That was all music back then. It was like hip hop, indie rock, and then pop music was also just kind of there. But like now I think pop music is what indie rock was back in the late 2000s, which is just big and huge and everyone loves it.
All right, I'm vibing with and agreeing with a lot of what you're saying, but this is the first of the times that I was like, what just happened? Why did it happen? And the movie isn't going to provide any more context around that, which is that the bar catches on fire.
Yep.
Because of the song?
Sure.
No, sure, Marilee. A film needs a thesis.
Now, David, you want everything written out for you?
Art is horses. Like, come on.
I was just gonna say, I take it as like they say first off the bat about this town that's called Devil's Kettle.
Right.
That it's like a weird Twin Peaksy kind of town where stuff happens and there's no explanation for it. And I kind of took it as just like some supernatural stuff kind of happens in that town in the background and people don't really realize it.
Okay, see, that really works.
I like that.
I hadn't considered that as a possibility, but I do have like one of my many thoughts about this film is like, is Needy supposed to be like psychic? So that is a great little
I have a theory behind that.
Oh.
I don't think Needy is psychic. I think she just has some sort of connection to Jennifer because she looked up her blood when they were kids.
Well, then Jennifer should have the same connection then, presumably.
What if she does is she's just like, it's whatever, it's Needy. Because she just takes her for granted.
It feels like it feels like you're writing my 3-star Letterboxd review for me, because there's just this is the first of a few questions that I kind of feel like it made for a very compelling set piece. The bar burning down looked fantastic. Needy's heroism, important for character development. The guys being able to get out okay because they're Satan worshipers, and that's going to be critical to their next step. This is all great. The outcome of dinner was fantastic. I can't remember a single course I ate.
I think it's just supposed to be like the bar is shitty and it just happens. But
I got the vibe that it was Low Shoulder had planned something. Like they either purposely sabotaged the wiring, or they were like, we did some Satan magic to make this happen when our music started.
Yeah.
Because they seemed knowing. Like Adam Brody seemed like he saw it and he was just like, yes, all is going according to Keikaku translator's note, Keikaku means plan.
But the question remains, Tyler, was that a satanic chant, or is that just how indie rock sounded in 2009? I don't know.
It could be two things, David.
Yeah.
It's both.
I will say, I have also always thought that like Low Shoulder put like a spell on Jennifer, because she acts so weird as soon as the songs like the fire starts. I guess it could be shock initially, but the way that she just agrees to get into the van always seemed really weird to me.
Yeah.
So I was always kind of like half thought it's like, yeah, so the band put like a weird trance on her in order to go with them because they agreed on her as the target beforehand. So if they set the fire, why not? Yeah. I'm in. I've converted. You got me.
Question mark. I will say, though, I mean, we used it for the opening, but 9/11 shooters, stupid. The stupid, incredible, no notes. Yes, please. That is exactly the sort of thing that a small town would have done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
In 2009, way past the time when it would have been appropriate.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thank you so much for appreciating that I put that in the intro, because again, that was one of my favorite jokes I've written for the whole thing. I loved it, and I loved making Tyler say it.
And I at first I didn't say it correctly, merrily.
I was gonna give you the out, but yeah,
No,
you said it.
Well, now I've allowed David to include all of my misreads.
Listener, you got to get to the end. Did it make it to the end credits? Now you'll never know.
You'll never know unless you listened at the very end.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, so when Needy gets home, she calls boyfriend Chip, trying to explain what happened with Jennifer and the fire when she hears a weird noise. She discovers Jennifer, but something is different. Something is wrong with her. She's absolutely covered in blood and acting strangely, then throws up black bile with things moving inside of it.
Blech.
Jennifer shoves Needy into the wall and asks if she's scared before disappearing again. The next day, Needy is still clearly traumatized, but Jennifer brushes off her concern completely and denies that anything is wrong. Needy tries to talk to Chip about what happened, but he doesn't take her seriously either, but does get jealous when her friend Colin asks if she's all right. After school, Jennifer finds a morning jock and kills him. Okay, so really creepy, like, buildup of suspense when Needy's going home. The house is very shadowy.
Yes.
And that they use that very effectively to create a little bit of a scare when like Jennifer's shadow starts moving around. And then Jennifer shows up and Megan Fox kills it with terror.
Yeah. We talked about this on the episode that Ben was on with us where the woman's head was backwards, and I can't remember the name of it.
Malevolent?
Thank you, Marilee. But we talked about this on Malevolent, but the lighting a scene with the light from a refrigerator is really scary. And you should only do that if you want to scare me. And they did that in this film, and it was scary. It was very scary.
You know what was really scary was the horrific black puke. That was real gross.
Yeah.
Like the needles moving inside of it. It gave me real My Best Friend's Exorcism vibes, except I do think like weird moving needles is grosser than weird moving feathers.
I would like to vomit neither, please.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
It was
Truly,
also
yeah.
gross because she was like hunched over on the floor in a freaky way, and she was like just shoveling a rotisserie chicken into her mouth.
We've all done that.
I was about to say that's when I felt the most at home. I was like, yeah, girl, same. I mean,
Well seen.
I try to make it over the sink if I can, but like sometimes the hunger takes you.
And then you just go rotisserie chicken gremlin.
You
You just
really
go
do.
ham.
And
Ham on that chicken.
But I agree with Paige. To vomit it up, that was horror to me. Like to not eat the rotisserie chicken, but to lose it, that the scariest part of the movie.
Especially because it was a Boston Market rotisserie chicken that Needy was
Name
forbidden from
brands.
eating.
The Boston Market drop.
Market.
That was the most 2009 thing that happened.
Yeah.
Boston
man.
Market. Oh no.
Oh, God. And then we get like a flashback to this scene a couple minutes later when Dee Dee is talking about, it happened. I was cleaning up the goo. And it just looks like the worst thing possible to have to clean up. And Siegfried is just kneeling on the floor crying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, girl, having to clean up your throw up after like you have stomach poisoning.
Not even
Feels-
your throw up. This is somebody else's vile puke.
But like
horrible.
the way she performed it, I was like, I felt that girl.
Yeah.
I've been there.
I felt that. Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And then, God, Chip is just like, I want to like Chip even for like the time period that this came out in, but at the same time, I'm just like, God, you're such a dude. You're just such a teenage boy.
Such a boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's very much a teenage boy. Like Diablo did a really great job writing a teenage boy because he is probably the most teenage boy to ever teenage boy in a horror movie.
Yeah, and like it's not his fault that he is a teenage boy, but he really is a teenage boy here. Like the way that he dismisses his girlfriend's concerns about what's going on, it is really interesting to me because she starts to explain what is going on. And again, Needy has a very bad habit of trying to explain things in the worst way possible to make it sound like she's obsessed with Jennifer, which she is, but like that's not the point here. And so she's trying to explain to Chip what's going on, and he's like, are you sure that you're not over exaggerating? And Needy has a very firm, hey, I don't tell whoppers and I don't like exaggerate. This is what happened. And the way that she's so firm in that, and the way that both Chip and Jennifer in the earlier scene react to her, makes me question a lot of things about who Needy is and how she is treated in this town. Because based on a lot of stuff, and again, I've thought about this movie more than maybe most people have. So maybe I'm talking out my ass here, but like I kind of wonder if Needy has a reputation, earned or not, for exaggerating things. Like the way that, and I think that maybe there might be something going on with her mom's mental health, that people are like constantly hyper aware of how Needy is acting in certain scenes, and they're constantly being like, oh, are you going crazy like your mom? And she gets really sensitive about that. I just think it's a lot of interesting writing happening under the surface.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's a lot of subtext in this movie that's well delivered because of that, especially around Needy. Like I said it at the top, like I think Needy being her name, like her nickname, or just really what everyone calls her, that is so significant because that is how people see Needy. That's how people see her character, that she's just kind of like quiet but annoying, like blonde girl in glasses. And it's like, that's unfortunate. That is not fair to her, because clearly she has a lot more complexity and strength to her that I wish people got to see, but obviously I cannot change that. That is the nature of this film. But I think that also like informs how Chip treats her. I think Chip does the very like teenage boy from the era thing of like kind of making the correct suggestion of like, you should probably see like a therapist or something, but he does it in the worst way possible. Really kind of like every response that he has is like, it's almost correct, but it's not. And that is just where we were at in this era. Very hard to find someone who is like genuinely unproblematic when it comes to this sort of thing. And so like kudos to the movie for doing that. I think also with Colin showing up as well, this little emo goth kid, I think they did a good job of that, of showing like he's kind of like a dork looking dude, but he's also kind of cool at the same time, and that's very much the vibe that you would have gotten from him in 2009. And so the fact that Needy does have like a little bit of interest in her or him, I think is also like good and believable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk about this jock?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I liked the kill. I think Paige talked about this. This is the unzipping, and then we cut to the teeth, and it's scary. But I think my problem is that this sort of lessens the thesis for later, which is that like Jennifer is pretty much killing boys that Needy has a connection to, and I think this jock is. I mean, they talked at the bar but it wasn't even a significant interaction.
It was a different jock. It was his friend that he's actively mourning.
Sorry, mid-white guys, for confusing you.
Yeah, it was great value Chris Pratt.
Oh, well, fine.
That she kills in this scene, but I think he was mourning Chris Pratt.
I will.
No, the cadet she's still fucking in the end. Like when Needy is like, "Oh, you think you're gonna go to the cops? I'm fucking a cadet." So Chris Pratt alive.
Yeah.
But we never got to see him again. So
you know what?
Okay,
here's what I'll say:
that.
Great value sometimes tastes better than original recipe, because I did like killed Jock better than I liked Chris Pratt.
Well, that's not hard. But
yes,
the,
all jocks are interchangeable for this film.
yeah, the jock who has the R word said about him, he's in who like asked out Jennifer, that she immediately cuts down and they walk away. That guy is friends with the guy who is killed here, who's like actively mourning his buddy.
Yeah. I think my problem is that the other kills that Jennifer makes are so much more significant to the relationship between Jennifer and Needy that and I know that Jennifer needs this to like recharge energy and stuff, but it just feels so incidental compared to the other two, which are wildly intentional.
I don't think they're all connected to Needy, because she also killed the exchange student that was randomly at the bar, and they didn't really have a connection. So I think some of that was just her, one, being hungry, and she needed to absorb it. She's hungry.
Yeah.
And also like her experimenting with her powers and what she can do, because she's clearly like really into what she can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I've always thought, like, again, she ate the night before. She's not experiencing the symptoms. But I think she just saw a guy, didn't like him, and thought, let's give this a shot. Let's see what I can do.
Yeah,
I think that also goes for like how she kills Ahmet, the foreign exchange student, later in the movie in a flashback. Is like she's actually putting on a showing of like concern, not enticement. And then she kills him, and then she sees this jock who I don't remember his name.
Doesn't matter.
She's just like, he looks like a meal. I could go for that. Let's see what happens if I try and do the thing that everyone says I do of being kind of a slut.
Yeah, she gets to use her like natural talent of being able to manipulate these men, like with her sexuality and just like her charisma, and she can just take them out.
Yeah. Which is that I do love that, and it really does help to remember that there was a second non-connected to Needy, because to miss one feels like a mistake. To have it be diverse feels fine. That feels character-y. But if it was just one who was off, which is what my memory served me, and I think I just truly was like, flashback doesn't count. Who knows?
It was only the first kill. It's
Flashbacks.
Well, if you think about it, there is kind of a connection to Needy, because she kills the Indian foreign exchange student specifically so she doesn't kill Needy. Because like she almost gonna kill her in the house, and then she's like, well, that's my bestie, I can't do that. So she wanders off and then finds Ahmet. So there's a kind of a connection if you really think about it. Does that help or hurt you, David?
No. I mean, I literally was like, the thesis is Jennifer's killing the boys Needy likes.
I think that kicks in with Colin.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, that's why Colin feels chosen, right? Yeah.
But I think that also plays into who is Jennifer becoming as the movie progresses.
Right.
Where she kind of goes from like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm really hungry, to I'm going to try this new thing and I'm going to use my powers to do it. And then it's another thing. And then when she starts to get mean, she's like, well, now I'm going to make it about Needy.
Yeah. This is like real world Devil's Kettle, when people stop being nice and start being real.
Listen, you're not you when you're hungry, Jennifer. So really think about it.
So true.
So a month after these twin tragedies, the town starts to heal. But Jennifer isn't looking so great. Colin, Needy's friend, asks out Jennifer, and she eventually agrees to the date, but only after Needy says that she likes Colin. That night, Colin meets up with Jennifer and she kills him. At that same time, Chip and Needy have a date, and while having sex, Needy sees visions of dripping blood, that dead jock, and Jennifer in that gargoyle pose we talked about. She even seems to hear what Jennifer is saying to Colin at that exact same moment. When Needy gets home, she finds Jennifer asleep in her bed, slumber party style. Jennifer and Needy kiss. Then Jennifer explains what's been going on, and starting with the night of the fire. Low Shoulder took her to the waterfall, the titular Devil's Kettle, and they sacrificed her to Satan. But somehow Jennifer didn't die. After, she went to Needy, but she couldn't hurt her and left. Needy figures out there's something else Jennifer still isn't telling her and kicks her out.
Okay. Let's start with Colin, I guess.
Okay.
Colin's death. I did Love this disused house.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Colin driving up to the houses. That felt very, even though I've never seen this reference, Twin Peaksy. It felt very, are they all their lights are off? I guess they're all being built, whatever. This is sort of like a scary suburban situation.
Mm-hmm.
I liked her seduction of Colin. I thought that it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
then
Well, that he dies. And that's where I was kind of like, oh, I get it between Jennifer and Needy. I get that this isn't just Needy being interested in Jennifer as a romantic partner. It is more than that. This is a bi-directional relationship of interest.
Okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm. I like that leading up to the Colin seduction and murder. There is kind of a post 9/11 sort of vibe
Mm-hmm.
where everyone is like in mourning and no one knows what to do. And we're all kind of like stuck in this bad period of vibes. And then here comes Jennifer, who's all brightly colored. And
Mm-hmm.
she's just like, oh, whatever. Like a Zoomer making fun of 9/11 now, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really well done. And then just the fact that Jennifer gets more like, I don't know, Needy says that she's ugly, but ugly for Jennifer. And I think that's a good way of putting it, because it's like, damn, she's still beautiful.
Right.
And she talks about, like, there's a line in there about Needy saying, are you PMSing? And Jennifer's like, PMSing was just made up by male advertisers or something like that. And I'm like, that's true. That is true. But I like the vibe that we're going with. It sets up who Jennifer will become, because she super does not like to feel this rundown sort of way. She wants to feel powerful and godlike. So she's going to go after Colin. And Colin is so, again, Diablo Cody, really good job creating teenage boys who are very teenage boys, because there are so many red flags that are getting thrown up as he starts driving down this creepy, like, in construction suburb that would tell me, like, dude, it's not worth getting your dick wet for this. This is clearly like either a murder or she set you up to like get murdered by someone. But no, he's a fool and he's a horny teenage boy at the end of the day.
I completely forgot about this, Tyler, until you were describing this moment, but it is in the classroom when they're all mourning the death of a student, when Jennifer just goes, boring. And it was at this point in time that I looked at the teacher and I went, oh my fucking God, J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's J.K. Simmons with a hook for a hand for no reason. It's so
Doing a
stupid.
crazy Minnesota accent.
Yeah.
I think that's why I didn't clock him, but I was like, step aside, Chris Pratt jump scare. J.K. Simmons, what are you doing in this movie?
And he's the only teacher we ever see. Like, he's the one at the dance doing all this stuff. Like, he's the only teacher.
If I had him on payroll, Paige, I'd need no one else.
Yeah, for real.
What's the opposite of a jump scare that when you get surprised by someone's appearance, you get really happy?
It's a sit smile. It's a sit smile.
Oh, see, I was going to say jump delight, but sit smile is good.
I was going to say jump for joy.
So I thought you wanted both opposites, so I did the opposite of jumping.
I like sit smile, though. Like, aw.
Yeah, that's good.
Or the Leo pointing meme.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. So funny story about the Colin seduction scene. This is actually one of the most expensive parts of the movie because they have that Akon song playing in the background and they had to pay out the ass for that.
Oh my God.
Money
that
poorly
is the most
spent.
late 2000s part of this.
That was not money well spent. I did not like that song.
If I walked
thought it
into
was-
an abandoned house that was completely dark and I heard Akon playing, I'd be like, what is going on in here?
Yeah.
Real.
Alternatively, I will tell you that I have made out in an abandoned house and this was hot and it is hot. And I mean, I'm well too old to be doing this now. But if I were 18 again, I would definitely do this again.
Incredible.
So I see this movie a lot on like good for her type lists. And while it's not entirely inaccurate, I do think that if this movie was made later, it would definitely lean into that vibe more. But because as it is, Colin's death really kind of ruins that. Because like you can kind of see like, oh, that jock, presumably he's not like a great guy because we all understand how movies have been made since the 80s and that he's a jock, he's probably a bully. But Colin is we see him be nothing but nice to everyone. And so her killing Colin kind of feels like it is a step too far in a really interesting way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I do feel like if this movie had been made later, like there would be much more of an emphasis on like Jennifer killing bad like guys as opposed to just all boys who are disposable to her.
Or
Yeah.
ramp up the disposable and make her truly villainous, you know?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Because as it is, it's like I actually didn't notice if this line was in the movie or if I'm just like kind of Berenstein-Bearsing my way through this. But isn't there a line from the trailer where Amanda Seyfried says, "You're killing people," and Jennifer says, "No, I'm killing boys."
That's in
Was
the
that
pool
in the
scene.
movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason I couldn't remember that line being read, but like yeah, that's like a great line, and it really sums up the thesis of what Jennifer is doing as she's killing all of these people. It's like, well, yeah, she killed a jock whose only crime is like being a jock because we don't really see him being a bully. That's inference for the audience that makes it okay that he was a bully. And then we see Colin, who pulls up listening to a pop punk version of I Could See Clearly Now, which is insane. That was truly nuts.
That money well spent.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Very much so. And so I'm kind of like, these guys are like, they're kind of stereotypes for the types, like the cliques of the late 2000s. But at the same time, it's like, they're not really doing anything like Breakfast Club, like guy is bullying another person or psychologically torturing another student. It's just like, they're just kind of trying to survive high school, which is what we were all trying to do. And what you do try to do in high school is just try to survive it.
I do wonder, you know, to sort of our discussion of Jennifer's kills, like maybe we are meant to read her as even more villainous because all the jock was doing was mourning his friend. That is the only character development we got for him. And that does seem like a villain behavior to kill someone just because they're mourning their dead friend.
Easy access. So
I feel like nowadays, perhaps a movie would like kind of see that and then spend a lot more time focusing on Jennifer being like a, what's the opposite of a misogynist?
Misandrist.
Yeah.
A misandrist, yeah, like having some
I
sort
love
of...
that Paige and I immediately knew what that was.
Yeah.
Like, we got
Bless
it.
your hearts. I love you both for knowing that. Just something to almost like, I don't know, provide some sort of simplistic line through to kind of follow where Jennifer's thoughts are on all of this. And I like that isn't the case in this movie. I like that you kind of have to think about that more. So I appreciate, you know, this being a movie of its time, you're kind of having to have these thoughts. And on the one hand, I can understand why when work, like in David's perspective of like, I need someone, or I need there to have been more consistency to make that thesis through line more apparent without actually having to spell it out. But I kind of like a little bit of the messy clumsiness of this. I think it still kind of works for me.
Yeah. Can we talk about the sacrifice scene? Because that's like a lot of the ways like the heart of the movie to me. And just like the way that like Jennifer is so scared and then she gets murdered. And like Jennifer in explaining everything to Needy is like, yeah, but I'm fine. And Needy crying because her best friend went through this is like, but I think they did kill you. And I thought that whole scene was so good and so well acted on both of their parts. And also made me so sure that what's his face didn't actually sing the song through the trees, because there's no way anyone could sing the Jenny code that bad and still also be a professional singer.
So true. Yeah, that scene is just horrifying, especially like you said, watching Needy crying as she's recounting it. And the lead up to that, when Jennifer's in the van with them and she's like pleading for them to let her go. And she says something like, oh, you should find a girl with experience because I'm a virgin. And Adam Brody's character is just like, oh, I hate girls. And I'm like, this is awful and gross.
Yeah. It is very much like these are misogynists and devil worshippers. I do think that it's a little late for satanic panic, Diablo, but fine, whatever. It exists in the world. You can use it. But these are bad dudes doing bad things. It felt almost a little heavy-handed on how bad they were to then give them some of your cutesy Diablo Cody dialogue as they're standing over her with a knife. And I was like, ooh, I don't know that a humor touch was necessarily needed here because you're sort of humanizing these like terrible men. So I was a little about that, and I was already a little itchy because, as a reminder to one and all, we started with a frame story. You have introduced a second flashback into the flashback, and only Christopher Nolan is allowed to do this. Like, we're going too far. We're gonna end up building a city for ourselves, or whatever the fuck happened at the end of Inception. It's just. I wish there was a different way that Jennifer could have told this harrowing story that wouldn't have given these guys cute Diablo Cody dialogue, but still wouldn't have hidden the horror that happened to Jennifer. Mm-hmm. This just felt like it needed just a different way of telling a story.
Okay.
I think this is coming back to the subjectiveness of Diablo Cody, because for me, that humor actually worked to dehumanize them.
Oh, okay, well, good.
because for me, it felt like, oh my God, these guys are insane that they're making jokes right now and singing Jenny when they're about to kill Jennifer, who Jennifer is bound up, pleading for her life, crying. Megan Fox does not look attractive at all like she does in the rest of the movie. She seems like she is in genuine distress, screaming and crying, and then these guys are making jokes. That added to the horror that then that immediately then cut to him stabbing her while they're all singing Jenny. That felt very fucked up and gross to me, in an intentional way. So I think this is just the subjectiveness of it all, and I think that's kind of like that's part of the movie, and that's part of why I think the movie is either it's very hyped up, or it's kind of where we are, where it's like, it's really good. And then other people were like, this movie sucks. So, but then of course, before we have to move on, this is where the kiss happens. We talked about the kiss quite a lot in the beginning. Is there more to this kiss that we should talk about?
I like the line where Jennifer is saying, like, don't you want to play mommy and daddy like we used to, or play house, however she says that.
I think like boyfriend and girlfriend, like
boyfriend, girlfriend. Yeah. Something like that. And I think that gives a little more context into that same thing that I think we mentioned earlier, where like close female friendship that gets weirdly intimate, like another universal queer experience is being like really close to your friend growing up and being like,
is
there's something there?
Yeah.
Do you think that means that Jennifer did have reciprocal feelings for Needy?
Oh, yeah. I read it like that. I don't know about everyone else, but
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels, to be honest with you, it felt that way in the first scene. Like, like to borrow from Bring It On, they were eye fucking, like truly and honestly.
Yeah, no, like that's what, like, I think her name is like Chastity, which of course it is. But she's like, you guys are eye fucking lesbian gays, and yeah.
And you know what? Chastity wasn't wrong. No falsehood came from her mouth. Name appropriate.
Yes.
Well, then she does end up becoming like a big stand for Low Shoulders. She's just like, they're the best. They saved all those people in the bar.
It's
and
on their
like, I was there.
Page. Can't be lying.
Whoops. Sorry. I forgot that was the same person. In that moment, she was correct. Later, she gets compelled by the forces of darkness to abandon her chastity.
Exactly. Oh.
Needy does some research about Satanist rituals. When Chip tries to talk to her about going to the formal together, Needy tries to explain what's going on with Jennifer and that she's the one who's been killing people. Chip doesn't believe her, and they break up. On the night of the formal, Needy waits inside the dance for Jennifer to make her move, but she has other prey in mind. Chip is initially hesitant, but once Jennifer tells him that Needy and Colin were regularly hooking up behind his back, he is more interested in her. At the dance, Needy realizes both Chip and Jennifer are missing and rushes to find them. But it's too late. She's already bitten him. Together, they fight off Jennifer, but Chip succumbs to his injuries.
Can I just say, as a librarian, I love that Needy goes to her local library and she goes to the occult section and she says, I got this. I'm doing research.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Chip-
but this is the Diablo Cody of it. Somebody says like, "Oh, we have an occult section." She goes, "Oh, it's small."
Yeah. There's not.
Yeah, Chip says that, and it
Yeah.
is one of my favorite lines in the movie. I'm going to be 100% honest.
That feels very Joss Whedon, very Diablo Cody, very I'm very smart. Here's some smart dialogue for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It would never be
I
Joss
love
Whedon,
it,
though,
though.
because the Sunnydale Library occult section is most of the library.
That's fair.
That is true. Yeah, no, I just love that it was a very small library. I actually thought it was the school library, and I was even more impressed.
Yeah.
But yes, poor Chip. Well, no, not poor Chip. What the fuck am I saying? Chip, bad. You should have listened to your girlfriend. Yeah, no, he's just such a teenage boy. I feel bad that I don't really have more to say about Chip beyond that, but he is just like, congratulations, Diablo Cody. You made the most teenage boy that existed in 2009. Like, this is, I knew so many Chips in high school, and a lot of them were also assholes. But yeah.
It's funny because and maybe it's because I had like locked in on my Jennifer Needy thing and nothing could tear me away from it. But I read Chip's part of this not as disbelief of his girlfriend, but more of, oh my God, you're bringing up Jennifer again. Like, I almost read it as like, you know what, fine, just pick her then. Like, just come out already. It felt more jealousy than disbelief, and I guess is really, not that jealousy is better, but I never really felt like Chip wasn't believing her. I just think Chip was like, oh my God, you're so obsessed with her.
Okay, but ¿por qué no los dos? Like,
¿Por
why
qué no
can't...
los dos? Yeah.
Yeah, like, he's frustrated because I do think that, as established, Chip is a jealousy problem. He was jealous. Like, Needy is constantly spending time with Jennifer, constantly bringing up Jennifer. He was jealous about Colin. This will lead to his ruin in a minute. But then also the way that she is trying to explain what happened with Jennifer is kind of insane. Like, she is not explaining this well. In a character trait that she has also throughout the movie. Every time she tries to talk about what's going on with Jennifer, she sounds like she's obsessed with Jennifer in a way that she's not actually.
I like that, Mary. I like that Needy read a lot of Shakespeare and she's like, oh my God, this is how to tell people what's going on, is to not tell the whole story. This is exactly the best way to communicate. Yes, you should leave critical parts out. Thank you.
That's exactly right.
I need the like expanded edition version of this movie where we find out that Needy is actually super into Buffy, and so she's talking about demon stuff like she's a character in Buffy, where it's like, yeah, we've all accepted that this is reality.
You know, a succubus is here. Let's just go get some steaks and go.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Colin is from the OC and being like, what is happening here?
Yeah, this is, he never watched the Marlena Gets Possessed arc, so he didn't realize that sometimes demons just happen to you on other shows.
Yeah. Sometimes
this was too early for Riverdale, so he wouldn't understand.
That's right. Mm-hmm. I did get a little I had to stretch my willingness to sort of keep going with the movie, because I did feel like Jennifer won over Chip to me a little quickly. Don't be wrong, it's not that I was asking for another 10 minutes of a debate between them, but it did seem kind of sudden. Now, it got us to the set piece that is this abandoned pool, and there's no amount of anything would be worth getting to this set piece. This is an incredible set piece, but for all intents and purposes, Chip could have just been kidnapped.
Yeah, but I think I was also, like, I don't know if disappointed is the right word. I guess it is, because I was disappointed that Chip did the predictable thing of being told, oh, your girlfriend was cheating on you, assumes the worst instead of thinking critically, like, oh, Jennifer, the person who has always not liked me, is telling me that my girlfriend cheated on me. Let me believe Jennifer, the person who's never liked me. And it was like, that feels too convenient for the script. Like, it kind of just has to happen. And I was disappointed by that. I thought that was kind of frustrating. But at the same time, I'm also just like, Chip is pretty dumb.
Yeah. And he's, again, as established, has jealousy problems.
He does have jealousy problems.
You know? And then if you also take into the fact that he's also jealous of Jennifer, I think her being like, hey, I'm actually really into you, and I have been this whole time, and that's, it could be like he's winning over Needy because he gets to, like, have this experience that Needy doesn't, maybe? I don't know.
I think that too. Yeah. I think there's some of that in there. I think that's generous, but I think that is not outside the realm of possibility. So
I'm
I
doing my
agree
best,
with
your
you,
friend.
really.
Yeah.
No, I think you're right. I think you're totally right. I just think it's like, you know, probably giving more credit to the script in that particular moment, but I think you're on track.
I mean, there is that whole like everyone's jealous of everyone. So it would align with that, with him like trying to make Needy jealous, or
Right.
Jennifer trying
Mm.
to make Needy jealous, or anyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do we all think of this final confrontation in the pool?
I liked this a lot.
It eats, yeah.
It was good.
Cool.
I would have liked a little bit more light in the scene. I mean, it was very atmospheric. It was giving, and it was 2009, so I understand. This was sort of the way that we made movies look at this era. But I wouldn't have hated just a little drop blue so I could see a little bit more of the action. Great lines here. Incredible lines here. I think standout for me is Chip saying, "She's flying," and then Needy go, "She's levitating at best, calm down." Is everything that I need to know about these characters. To me, that's a trailer line. I didn't actually watch the trailer for this, but that, to me, is a trailer line. That should have been in the trailer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
funny.
I know. And then Jennifer's line after that is like, "Oh, why are you always undermining me?"
Yeah.
Oh, that's like perfect.
That's perfect.
Perfect. My friend has
Perfect.
superpowers and like we're fighting line. It's so good.
That's kind of what I wanted the entire movie to be. Would be more and more and more of that, because it was great. But I had a lot of fun with and I said it earlier, but the set piece that is a disused pool, that is just, it is revoltingly
So
disgusting.
gross.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's great. It's
But
incredible.
really pretty mural behind the vines.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. Just
Through the trees, one could say even.
gasp.
But I won't.
It looks like something from The Last of Us. Like it's been there for so many years
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
I was thinking that and Annihilation. Like I was
Yeah.
watching this with Marshall. Marshall loves this movie. My husband loves this movie.
Oh,
but
your
they were saying that they-
husband?
Your
husband. Oh, my husband. Paige, I just got married, so I don't know. If
Congratulations.
That's the
you,
only
but
reason we
yes.
did that. Just
Yeah, David talks about his husband all the time, but we don't all.
Who
Yeah.
cares?
But yes, Marshall was suggested that the pool might have been the same one from Annihilation. I don't know if it was, because this one had disgusting water in it, and the Annihilation pool did not. It just had a big mushroom skeleton. But either way, great set pieces. I really liked it. Agree that it was a little too dark. I really loved the levitating line, because I told Marshall, like, during that scene, I was like, this is what happens if two wizards fight in D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody gives a
Um,
counterspell though, so not quite.
Not quite. Yeah, exactly. But, I like that Chip dies at the end, too.
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting Chip to live, so I'm glad that he died.
Yeah.
And he has, like... Yeah, go ahead, Paige.
I was just gonna say I'm fine with Chip dying. I'll say it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts behind why?
Why I want him to die or why he should die?
Let's say both.
Porque no lo estoy.
Those are both
Both,
very
yeah.
interesting clarifications, so I definitely want to hear both.
I mean, selfishly, I just want Jennifer and Needy to be together, and
For
I
a sensible
don't.
time.
Yeah, and I
Mhm.
don't think Chip is necessary. I mean,
Mhm.
all of that, and I think it is like probably necessary in this story to kill him off, because they need
Mhm.
that catalyst for everything else to go down at the very end. Because
Mhm,
otherwise, like Needy wouldn't have a reason to just go wild like she did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed. I think it works on multiple levels for that reason,
Mhm.
but I like that. I like that thinking,
Mhm.
Paige. I think you're not alone
Yeah.
with wanting them to be together.
Yeah.
All right, so that night, Needy breaks into Jennifer's room, and the two have their final confrontation. They fight, and Jennifer bites Needy, but Needy ultimately stabs and kills Jennifer. Months later, we rejoin Needy in solitary confinement as she reveals in narration that if you are bitten by a demon and survive, you can absorb some of the demon's powers. I think that's a brand new rule that they just invented. She then breaks out of jail using her abilities and gets revenge on Low Shoulder by killing them all using the knife they used to sacrifice Jennifer. Okay, Paige, I would like to get your thoughts on this ending first.
I mean, a scene in her bedroom is just brutal, especially
Mhm.
with the mom coming in.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh,
Oh my god. Both
that's
horrifying
horrifying.
and funny.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
It did
there's a
both
bit of
really
that.
well. Yeah.
And it also brings my favorite line in the whole movie, which is, "Do you buy all your murder weapons at Home Depot? God, you're butch."
Yeah, that was really good.
My
Yes.
favorite line.
Oh yeah, she said this is for opening boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I also really liked when she's like, X out Jennifer, and like cuts her stomach in an X. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as brutal as it is, I think it does make sense for the story because with all of Needy's research, she was reading you have to kill the succubus in a certain way to like get the demon out of her.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
she had all that pent up anger and different
Mm-hmm.
feelings. So,
Mm-hmm.
I loved that they floated in the air
Yeah.
together.
that was
Mhm.
cool.
I loved that. That was
Mhm.
awesome. I think there was some cool shots in
Listen.
there as a result of that.
As established by Buffy the Vampire Slayer, when two women levitate together, they're having sex. So,
And we had the little death
mm-hmm.
as well with Jennifer
Mhm.
dying.
Yeah. What do we feel about the fact that after Needy breaks the Biff necklace, Jennifer like seems to like lose her powers, and that's the moment that like Needy wins?
That's interesting.
It looked like there were some blood droplets on the necklace as well, so I am wondering if there was more of like this blood magic stuff going on that got left on the cutting room floor. Like I would have preferred if they had made the blood magiciness of it all a little bit more explicit.
Yeah.
Like I said, that there's we even have like more flashbacks on top of the one flashback that David called out, which is like childhood flashbacks of them in the sandbox being friends forever. And that's when like Jennifer stabs her hand on a tack or something and Needy licks it up, and now there's blood on the BFF necklace.
Right.
And there's some sort of blood as part of this whole thing, which I guess makes sense too because it's a bodily fluid and they're exchanging bodily fluids in both of these situations at like the birth of their relationship to the end of their relationship. So again, you could make something out of it. I just wish it had been more in the text.
Yeah. It's just, it's not ginger snaps where like menstrual blood is like critically important to understand the themes of this.
Mhm.
We don't, it's okay. You can talk about women characters and not talk about their menstrual fluids. Absolutely. But we could have done something. I agree with you, Tyler, where if it wasn't celebrating womanhood, it was celebrating sisterhood. It was something that bonded them. Because I understood they had a bond that was beyond friendship, beyond romance, that was long and important to both of these characters. But merely saying, oh, they're like power gave out when the necklace broke, I was like, I didn't even clock that. Truly and honestly. And that could have been really cool and important and just didn't make its way to me. Was it a dark lit scene? Because there were a lot of those at the end of the movie, apparently.
I think it was pretty well lit, but I'm gonna
Okay.
be honest, I don't remember.
Lit like a bedroom.
Yeah.
Lit like a bedroom.
Okay.
With the lights on.
All right, well, just remember that I'm an old man now. I need my films to have very explicit symbols on the screen.
I mean, it was also a very pink scene. Like Jennifer's bedroom is
Oh.
like very frilly and girly, so you know, maybe
All
there
right,
was
that's
color
fine.
grading problems.
I don't. Hollywood, do not fix my color blindness. Like you gotta make things for people who can see colors. That's just a me problem.
All right. So, how did we feel about Jennifer's body in terms of horror or queerness after our conversation? And do you have any other final thoughts for this episode? This movie gay.
Oh, it's
it's
very
gay.
gay. It's very gay.
Yeah.
very,
It's very gay.
extremely.
I am so interested to see what they're going to do with the sequel that they're cooking up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I feel like there's so much more they could delve into, like some of the gaps we were talking about with like the lore of maybe blood magic and their spiritual connection they had with each other. So I'm very interested to see how the story is going to be continued in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is exciting that Kusama and Cody are both coming back for that. Fox and Seyfried have already signed on for it. This sounds like it has everything you need for this to be successful, and I'm just hoping that 17 years is not too many years for a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David, don't say numbers like that.
You know, I got married when this film came out. That's how I can.
Wow.
That's how I can remember how long it's been since this film. I was about to say that's how I can remember what my anniversary is, but no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jennifer's Body. I will probably think of my wedding more than I will think of this film.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to start filming it in October.
Yes,
I just saw.
it's very
Oh, nice.
Because I did not know that there was going to be a sequel.
Oh,
So this
wow.
is very good news for
Yes.
me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I had it on my notes to be like, don't let us stop talking without bringing this up.
Did you see if Adam Brody's going to be in the sequel at all, or has he confirmed that he's coming? Or
I feel like he's talked about, like, if they ask him, he's totally down.
yeah,
I don't think they've confirmed.
Oh! Someone asked an actor if he would like a job, and he would be like, "I would be totally down." It's
Well,
always so funny
yeah.
to me when journalists even ask actors, like, "Oh, are you going to be in it?" And their response is always like, "If I am invited to a paying gig, I will probably say yes
Yeah.
to it."
Yeah.
well, so I asked because I saw there was like an Actors on Actors with Amanda and Adam, and they were talking, and
Yes.
they mentioned Jennifer's Body, and he's like, like she makes a joke, like, we should have you back for the sequel, and he's like, I mean, I died, and she's like, yeah, so did Megan.
Yeah, so did Megan Fox.
So
But
what?
I'm not doing
Yeah.
it without her. So he was like, all right, well, I'd love to, and I thought that was a
Right.
really fun interaction.
I think it'd be fun to bring him and the band back because we didn't get into it so much, but that very end scene where Needy gets revenge on the band, I feel like that should have been Jennifer.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. The first time I saw the movie, again, I really liked it. I was really surprised by how much I liked it, and then I didn't watch it again for a couple of years. And so, as the movie was going on, I kept being like, "Doesn't Jennifer kill the band? Like, why do we keep?" But then no, it gets to the end of the movie. It's like, oh, Needy kills the band.
And I
Um,
do like that, like, regardless of how Needy felt by the end and how angry she was at Jennifer to go so far to kill her, she still wanted to seek revenge for her friend who went through
Right.
this terrible thing.
Right.
Yeah.
and
I do like
is
that part of it, but
Yeah, because I think still at the end she understands and loves Jennifer, but it was the slaying of the demon, and I think that there's some interesting threads you can pull on for a sequel, because maybe Jennifer did get revenge through the instrument of Needy.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
I do think there are fun themes to play on. I would happily see a sequel of this film. That being said, I'm not sure I'll go back to this one a lot. I had a great time. I think people should watch it. I think it belongs on a lot of the recommendation lists that it belongs on. I think I would have benefited from seeing this in 2009 when the marketing would have set me up for maybe lower expectations, and then I would have been like, this is the best movie ever. And unfortunately, I've just listened to people on podcasts for 2 or 3 years being like, Jennifer's Body, best queer crime. Jennifer's Body, best queer horror. And like, it was good. It was good.
Well, thank you all so much for listening to this episode. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Hell might be a teenage girl, but social media isn't far behind. Luckily, our corner of it isn't so bad, so come hang out with us on Instagram, YouTube, and Blue Sky at Fear Coded Pod. And Paige, genuinely, thank you so much for joining us. You're such a delight. Where can people find you and what you're working on?
yes, thank you again so much for having me. They can find me at Thoughts by Paige on Blue Sky. I'm most active over there. I am also Paige Noel Kiser on Instagram. And whenever I post like my writing and stuff, it'll be in those 2 places. And also my podcast, as mentioned, Across the Hooniverse, which I do with Chels, who has been on this podcast a few times. And my stories are on with Chels, Jesse, and Owen, talking reality TV and such. And yeah, if you want to subscribe to my Substack, that's called Girlhood in Low Resolution. It's about growing up as a girl on the internet in the 2000s and pop culture as well.
Nice. Well, thank you very much, Paige. Folks, if you would like to support the podcast, you can join the Bats in our Belfry by subscribing to our Patreon at patreon.com/fearcodedpodcast. You can show your appreciation at one of 3 levels with accompanying bonus content starting at the $3 level. This month, we're discussing the first episode of Dan to Dan, which has a theme song that will never get out of my head. Another perk for supporting our Patreon, getting to play our Fearful Phrases game. Doug requested that we say burgers with cheese and without, which we included in our Slay episode, speaking of Chels.
Fear Coded is a proud part of the Glitterjaw Queer Podcast Collective. If you'd like to listen to more queer media podcasts, check out the full roster of shows at glitterjaw.com.
And join us next week when we're heading to the 80s and things get even stranger as we discuss Stranger Things. But for now, we will simply say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. That's right. We couldn't do these 9/11 tribute.
Trebuchets? 9/11 trebuchets? Tyler, no!
Again. All right.
I don't know, but it's never been so clear. We made a mistake, and
Okay. All right. Needy does some research about satanist...
No, keep it in.
No, that line read. That satanist?
face I can see through the trees.
Oh, there's my husband.
Oh,
Hi,
husband.
Everyone said hi, husband.
Hi, husband.
Oh my
Husband.
God, so cute.
So cute.
I'm still here breathing now until I'm set free. Go quiet through the trees.
She can fly.
She's just hovering. It's not that impressive.